I said, what'd you do? And then he said, yeah. He said, I got out of the side of the highway and I ran across the highway. I said, oh my God, do you know how provocative that is? You have to constantly vet your agents to make sure that they're doing what they're telling you they're doing. So I said to him, listen, when you come to these meetings, you're doing a surveillance detection route, right? He goes, of course I am. I've been doing this for 20 years. I said, okay, I just want to make sure. So I called a team of SOOs, special operations officers. And so I said, can you guys put a team or 2 teams on him and just make sure he's doing what he says he's doing? And they said, sure. Because then I can write it up and send it to headquarters and say, his vetting's good for another year. No problems. And the SOOs called me a couple of times during the surveillance detection route. And they said, this guy is awesome. He took a cab from his house to this, 8-lane highway, got off on the highway. Remember, he's 70 years old. And ran across the 8 lanes, leaped over the concrete Jersey barrier, went to the other side of the highway, and then hailed another cab going in the opposite direction. So he gets to the meeting, and I knew like every minute of his route. He gets to the meeting, and I said, did you do a surveillance detection route on the way to the meeting? He said, yeah, it was a good one. I said, what'd you do? And he said, just take my word for it. I took care of things. I said, well, what's that supposed to mean? Because I need to know if you actually did it. And then he said, yeah. He said, I got out of the side of the highway and I ran across the highway. I said, oh my God, do you know how provocative that is? If somebody was actually watching you, they'd say, what the fuck is he doing? Yeah.